If you've never listened to Plant Talk Radio, our weekly gardening program hosted by Fred Hauer, you really should take a listen to the whole show. You can go to our website at planttalkradio.com and listen, or subscribe to the show on iTunes. Here's today's question.
Don writes in because I just tore out my old wooden deck on the back of the house. It's a spot that generally gets partial sun in the morning and mostly shade in the afternoon. I'm putting in a poured concrete patio. Can you suggest a tree that we could put near the patio that won't get too big and won't break up the concrete with its roots?
Well, yes. And there are many factors involved here. First of all, I hope he pours a good mix. I'm always recommending, since I learned many years ago from a concrete mason, that reinforcement is always good. How it gets scored, anyhow, let's just say that as long as he gets a good pour and has a 4+ inch depth to it and so on. There are a number of trees. The first one that comes to my mind is redbud. Redbud is a tree that will hit, on rare occasion, 25 feet high, and it'll take it a long time to get there. In that same height range is golden rain tree, which just finished its flowering. It's present. Golden rain is the description of the color of the flowers. Then it has little Japanese lanterns, like in the fruit capacity, a nice multiple leaf and so on. American yellowwood. I'll mention American yellowwood, and I'll just simply say that all of these trees should be a minimum 6 feet out from the patio, and more is even better. Depends on what they're up against in terms of spacing. The crown of any tree, even smaller trees, if it's too darn close, can cause a problem in the long run. But I doubt that any of these three would. Then I also think of, it just came and went. Hydrangea. A hydrangea now is not actually a tree, but some of the cultivars are, grown up on what's called a standard, and they can grow on up to probably 8, 9, even on occasion 10 feet tall. So it depends on what he means by small tree. Then there are a couple of kinds of magnolia. I happen to like, for its pattern of growth, I like the Sweet Bay magnolia. It flowers after the standard magnolias, very, very fragrant. I even recommended that tree for above a wall between my son's house and his neighbor. They've been there a dozen years, I think, at this time, and they're still quite manageable. He's keeping them trimmed at about 12 feet because of their space restriction. It would go to 25 someday, but a long time off. And none of these trees, to my knowledge, will be particularly problematic to the patio at 6 foot out. And then it depends also on a hard pan beneath the soil. If the roots can't go deep, then they'll stay on top of a hard pan, and they will, over time, they can raise concrete. I know honey locusts will do that, maples will do that, etc. But I think if he stays with those, and there's another one buzzing around, the hawthorn group. Now, the one I would recommend in this case is, come on, Fred, your mind is going. Winter King. Winter King has a thorn. You'd want to be careful of it, putting it at least 6 feet out. You'd want to trim off the bottom branches as they grow. But then once you get above it, it's a short, sturdy thorn, and it won't be apt to break off and cause people a problem and so on. And its flower is good, its structure is good, bark color is good, good fall color, etc. So any of those things, and then there's another plant in the hawthorn family that does not fruit, period.
Well,
and it doesn't have thorns.
But he has to make sure that no one's around when he prunes it, because he's probably apt to use a 4-letter word or two if he's pruning the hawthorn.
Or when you buy the hawthorn, you buy a good pruner and a pair of leather gloves.
Oh, well, yeah.
But the hawthorn, I would say, is the farthest reach. I happen to like them. I wouldn't hesitate to cater to that problematic pruning initially, but there's other good. Well, we've mentioned the other good choice.